What's up, everybody? We're going to go over a lot of stuff in this video. We're going to be doing saddlebag protector install. We're going to do slip-on exhaust install. We're going to remove the saddlebags, and when we reinstall them, we're going to put on quick disconnect hardware. We're also going to remove and reinstall the seat. That's very simple to do, but just in case somebody doesn't know how to do it. We're also going to do the Sissy Bar install as well. First things first, going to remove this cover. You're going to start with pulling out up here, tug on it until it pops loose. We are going to remove the saddlebag on the right hand side. You got an Allen here. You got an Allen here. The bottom of the bag rests on the exhaust, and then you're going to come down here and disconnect this connector. Going to do the same thing on this side. Wire for the left-hand saddlebag is right here. And the same thing on this saddlebag. This Allen here, one over here. These are 8mm Allens. Once the saddlebag's off, you can see these are the bolts that hold on the saddlebag. Then you have this rubber insert. And then you have another hex bolt in there. Once you remove that, this whole assembly will come off. You're going to loosen this 11mm here. And then remove these off of the bike. Here's half of the saddlebag quick release set. Comes with these that actually tighten the bags down. They have little divots and bumps that engage each other as you tighten it so that it'll lock into place and it can't come loose. They take place of the factory bolt like that. It comes with everything that's already on your bike, as well as these little rubber covers that go over top of the metal sleeves. I'm going to replace everything on the bike with the stuff that came with the set, but you don't necessarily have to. Now you're going to reinstall the new parts. And then snug those down. Just to go over a few other things while we have this apart, before we pull off the exhaust. This 6mm Allen comes out on this side and the other. All you do is take those bolts out, you push backwards on the seat, and the seat will pop off. Simple as that. Now, to put the saddlebag protectors on, we're going to remove this Allen and this Allen. Both are 6mm, and the little covers will come off with them. Before I put the bags back on, you can see how the Sissy Bar mounts here and here with those little rubber shims on there. I got this Sissy Bar for multiple reasons. One reason being the backrest is gigantic with a lot of padding, and it wasn't really expensive. There's also nowhere to put two helmets. Usually I hang mine on the handlebar, and she would lay hers on the saddlebag back here. But this is flat black, and the more you lay things on the flat black, it can ruin the paint. So I opted to get this Sissy Bar with the vacuum cleaner looking extension on there, which I don't really like, but it is a good place to hang a helmet after we come to a rest. This is what it looks like with the covers removed there. Down here. Now we're going to go on to removing the exhaust. Also, while you have this part, after you pull this side cover off, this is where you can access your adjustment for your rear shock, just in case you didn't know that. So we're going to go down under the exhaust. We are at the front of the left-hand slip-on muffler. On the left of the screen is a 15mm nut. You're going to loosen that clamp. On the right of the screen is a flathead to that hose clamp that holds on the exhaust shield. You're going to loosen that up. Now we're at the back of the left-hand exhaust. You got two 13mm. You're going to loosen those up next. Once it's loose, you just want to pull up and down and pull out slightly, and it'll work its way off of the front of the exhaust. Here's the old exhaust removed, the new exhaust ready to go on. Transferred the clamp over to this one. This exhaust has an opposite slant of the factory exhaust, which I like a lot better. The color doesn't match perfectly. It is a little bit more glossy, but this is a pretty cheap exhaust. But from what I've heard, it sounds awesome. It also comes with some new mounting hardware for the rear. When you're reinstalling the slip-on, you want to do your two rear bolts first. Slide those back and forth until they're about in the center of the eccentric holes and snug those down. Then you're going to go up and tighten your 15mm clamp onto the back of the cat, and then finally you'll tighten your hose clamp to the exhaust shield. Before I reinstall the saddlebags, you can see the saddlebag guards installed here. These are cheap Chinese replicas of the originals. Only modification I had to do was egg out the top two holes a little bit so that I could rotate the whole thing towards the front of the bike. I just used a deburring bit to do that. And I used the two dark bolts that came off of this side to go up top, and the kit came with this silver one, but that one's hidden, so I put it down in the bottom. Now you can reinstall your bag and see what it looks like. Here's the locks that came with the new kits. As you turn these, you can hear they pop into place so that they won't come loose. That's what the saddlebag guard looks like with the saddlebag reinstalled. That's what our exhaust looks like with the saddlebag back on as well. Much the same steps on the right side of the bike, except you have an antenna bracket back here on the back side where the muffler attaches to the bracket. You're just going to have to reinstall that when you put the new slip-on on here. The same hardware is involved up front, underneath, and if you're doing the saddlebag protectors, you're going to remove the same covers and bolts. You're going to loosen the 8mm from here, and you can see that the antenna is loosening up, and then you're going to slide it out of the back. With everything removed, you can see the order. You have the nut, large washer, small washer, then you have your antenna bracket and your antenna. This bracket gets sandwiched in between the slip-on muffler and the frame. It just needs to go back together the way it came apart.